Look at me, just skipping along like a real champ. Welcome back, my fellow duplicants. Today here in Oxygen Not Included, I'm going to try to get the liquid hydrogen up and running. And that's because I pretty much already have liquid oxygen over here. And we need to reach out further into space. So I figured I might as well try to take this same sort of design here, apply it to liquid hydrogen, just to see what happens here. Now, I have let the game run for a little over 100 some cycles. I just kind of let the game run for like 8 hours all by itself yesterday. And as it turns out, nobody died. Although we are now finally to a situation where I have some insufficient oxygen generation. So what happened here is we used up a lot of our extra water that was here, and we are now waiting for this cool slush geyser to run again here in the next 17 cycles. So the base is not 100% self-sustaining at the moment, but we're very, very close, and I kind of want to build up towards that point where the base is completely self-sustaining here. So to do that, I'm actually just going to go ahead and take my gigantic source of polluted water over here and bump it over to the right. This stuff does continue to build up more and more polluted water as these natural gas generators kick out water. They don't kick out a lot of water, not very fast, but 67, it's Saturday. 135 grams a second really isn't a whole lot. But you can see that I already have a liquid pipe lined up right here. And as it turns out, I already have this middle line right here because polluted water was one thing that I was going to bring over here. So all I have to do is connect it. It's like I already knew I was going to do this eventually. I just never did it. Well, till now, right. I never did it till now. So all I have to do is run a pipe right up here like that, and boom, there we go. Plenty of extra water. All right, some other updates here. Right down here in this area, I've already dug up this spot just to get to all of the fossil that was down here. But guess what? Look at this. We have yet another cool slush geyser. Are you kidding me? This base has so much water. So that outputs a bunch of polluted water. The saltwater geyser over here outputs even more water. I think. I don't really know its full average numbers right now, but that's at 13.2 kilograms a second, just about 50% of the time, a little bit less. Whereas this one puts out 5.5 at around the same number right there. So, yeah. Apparently this base is supposed to be hard to survive in. But I guess we did start with the geoactive trait, as you guys wanted, so maybe that's why I have so many beautiful geysers in this map. But oh my gosh, I have that multiple natural gas geysers right there. Oh, there's just so much potential for like a super mega base down here. Not only that, look at that, I have steam turbines. I have not steam turbines. cool steam vents right down here. So there's even more water if I want it. We're set for as many cycles as the game can run. Speaking of turbines, I was talking about how we end up using the steam turbine a lot last time, and nobody really picked up what I was talking about as far as a smaller piece of equipment that would fit. What I was talking about, even though I didn't really think I knew what I was talking about at the moment, but what I was thinking of was a Stirling engine. So we could potentially use this to take up some heat and convert it into a small amount of power. So a smaller version of the same sort of thing that the steam turbine does, except for it doesn't work with steam. I think that would be a fun piece of equipment to add to the game. Don't you think? Maybe 240 watts, 2 tiles wide, 3 tiles tall. Maybe piped oxygen, maybe not. I don't know. I think it'd be kind of interesting. I often get asked, like if there was anything I could add to the game, what would it be? And this would probably be one of them. I think it's just a fun alternative to maybe a steam engine right there. A little bit smaller, maybe not quite as efficient or anything like that, but it's kind of this cool looking novelty item anymore. But I think it would kind of fit the Oxygen Not Included style pretty good. Anyhow, that's just an idea for a little bit of inspiration. But also talking about that from your comments over here. So my last video here, we completed this monument. It looks pretty cool. And you know what? The monument midsection is now on top of the ladder. So that actually looks pretty cool as well. I'm not sure if something changed or whatnot, but there it is. And the other thing is the cutscene should have shown, but it didn't. As you guys were letting me know, there's actually a mod called Cutscene Now Included again. So I did install that, but I can't seem to go back and actually reactivate the Home Sweet Home cutscene that I should have seen. So thanks for letting me know. Hopefully it will work for the void when we actually achieved that. But as for this last achievement, I just looked it up on YouTube. All right, so let's focus back on what I was trying to do today, and that is build up the liquid hydrogen. So the reason for liquid hydrogen is to go out much further into the star map. So I've already kind of scoped out many different locations that we can look at here. It is a lot of destinations out there, holy moly. We'll continue to analyze more and more objects. This one, ooh, glimmering planet. What does that have? Tungsten, yes! I do need tungsten, I do need wolframite. That's a fantastic destination, but look at it, it's 150,000. Holy moly. What does it even take to run a rocket out to 150,000 with a cargo bay? Can you even do it on petroleum? No, you cannot. The furthest you can go is 110 with petroleum, which is why you have to jump up to hydrogen. Oh, 2,278 kilograms. Now, I think the void, basically the end destination, is going to be right out here at 180,000. So what's the difference between 1,500 and that? Oh my gosh, it costs more to go get regolith and tungsten than it does to leave the map. It's not regolith and tungsten. Wow, it's Saturday. Woo! Tungsten and wolframite. That's what I was talking about. All right, so I'm going to have to build another rocket silo because a rocket that's going to travel out 150,000 just to go out and come back, that's going to take a long time. I probably won't try to capture the thermal energy like I'm doing with these two silos. I'll probably just make a rocket that travels out really far and not really worry about it as much. Okay, but I should focus on just making the liquid hydrogen here. try to keep the goals a little bit small here just so I can actually finish something. All right, so this is the cycle that I was using for the liquid oxygen. It actually works really good as far as how the liquid oxygen flows around and stays cool. It's pretty handy. The only difference here is that I don't actually need to go out to the left, so I don't have to jump over the pipe. I just kind of go off to the right. Okay, so this is where the liquid hydrogen is going to go. All I've done here is actually flip the heavy watt conductive joint to the other side. I've also made this just a little bit smaller. I don't think I needed this little piece right over here. I can actually get away from that this time. The system seems to work pretty good as far as keeping the liquid cool as it's running through the loop, so I like that. The other thing is I put insulated tiles right down here. Some people were saying, hey, maybe that's a little bit overkill, and yeah, it might be. One of the things I like about this system here is that as this condenses a gas into a liquid, the pump grabs it and just shoves it into the pipe very, very fast. So it doesn't have a chance to flash back into a gas, which you can have in some larger condenser systems. You have to kind of be careful about that, or potentially cool the floor as well. But this system doesn't seem to struggle with that at all. And it might just have to do with how small it is. Then again, when you go to scale this thing up, I guess you might need multiple pumps and multiple condensers that are like this if you really wanted to take this and just make it bigger. Or you could potentially put 2 vents up here and 1 larger pump below. This mini pump is not necessarily more efficient, volume for volume, but it is, it's low powered, so. All right, so while the duplicates are working on this stuff here, let me take you through some of the other improvements I've made here to the base. So I added some auto sweepers down here in order to pick stuff up out of the bristle blossoms so that it automatically ships any of these bristle blossoms up into our edibles area right over here. That way they don't go bad. There's a chance that they could go bad if they're laying on the ground here. Added some more wallpaper tiles so things look a little bit cleaner. That's kind of cool. Wait. Tenrog, oh no! You're incapacitated! Ah! Apparently a swarm of poke shells has started to take over my hatchery. That's not good. Anybody want to help Tenrog out? Oh geez, they're just beating up on baby pips. Yeah, so I have a lot of poke shells. Holy moly, how many poke shells do I have? Oh! Whatever you do, don't grab food from this spot. Holy moly. Poor Bad Pip, the 23rd. You're just getting absolutely mauled. Guys, you're killing my frames here. You're killing my frames. Bad poke shells. 2. I don't know how many are there, but man, we're just attacking all of them. Holy moly! Wow! Wow! There's a lot there. This is savage. You guys might want to look away. What? What? They're still going. How? What? You've got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. How many poke shells are in this one spot? Did anybody count? Whoa! That was a few poke shells. Well then. We don't need to incubate any of those guys. Look at them all. I mean, I still have what? I have 5 of 7 over here. I did move one auto sweeper to the right in order to pick up this one spot because they were getting angry. Here, we'll wrangle up 2 of these. I can't click on 2, so I guess we'll wrangle 7 or however many I clicked on. Oh, did you kill off all my pips or something? No, they're still there. Okay, that's good. Here, we're gonna knock down 10 of those. At one point, I did set up an automated system for the egg cracker. I might have to go back and look at that. Uh-oh, I have a suffocating duplicate. Val. Oh no! How'd you end up here without fuel? All you had to do was fly back like you've done for the last 1,000 cycles. Well, I think Val is pretty much dead. I don't see a way out of this one, bud. How did you screw that up, Val? Let's see if you can build your way out of here. I kind of doubt that you can, though. That's a long ways. Is there any pocket of oxygen anywhere? That's not gonna help you. If you drop down, we could potentially go through this wall and get to oxygen. That might help you. But I don't know if you can go that far. Let's see here. Priority level 9. Definitely. I would almost say priority 11. That's priority 11. Sorry, it's Saturday. I'm all over the place. Come on, Val. No, Val, no! Don't! Ah! That's why you keep falling asleep. Nope. That's it. Rest in peace, Val. Honestly, I don't know why that was that way. That's kind of dumb. You really can't blame me for that one. They've literally have jet suits and they've been doing this for thousands of cycles or whatever without a problem, so. Oh, Val, we all went off to fight the poke shell war and forgot about you up here, I guess. Kind of thought you'd figure out how to fly yourself back to safety, considering you had a jetpack and everything, but apparently not. So, rest in peace. Where should we put the cemetery? Yeah, there we go. I've always put my tasteful memorials right near the toilets. So, there we go. Tasteful memorial. All right, so there we go. Nice little spot for a tasteful memorial. What? Ah, no, dupes. You guys let a hole in the. You guys put a hole in the wall, and you dropped Val into a puddle of crude oil. Dupes. Maybe people didn't like Val. Maybe they don't like oxygen either. Oh well, let's sweep this stuff up. And we can even sweep up the little snazzy suit. Actually, who doesn't have a snazzy suit? Val doesn't have a snazzy. I can still assign it to Val. What happens if I click that button? Nothing. Oh, I would like more frames. I'm kind of tired of looking at 10 frames per second. Oops, I'm putting too much water in over here. what I need is a liquid valve over here, so that we can kind of turn on and off the amount of liquid that goes into this area. I already have an automation spot down here somewhere. If I can remember what it is. Which one is what? Yeah, this wire. We can run to that. Which means I can deconstruct all of these wires because I don't need those anymore. Aha! Alright, so it's time for a new duplicate here. We have a night owl. Interesting. That's good. I like that because we do have a night owl schedule. I think Val's job was to run around and build stuff. I think she was actually one of the original duplicates. Was she not? No, she wasn't. She wasn't. She was one of the patrons. Sorry. And now you're dead. Alright, so Jen, you're going to be JB51. And thank you so much for being a Patreon supporter, and welcome to the base. There's a cot open right over here. Speaking of which, can anybody pick up Val's body from this, from this puddle of slickster pee? She's, oh. Yeah, some weird things are happening here. It's kind of getting a little awkward. It is priority level 9. No? Nobody? Oh, here we go. Kenzilla's got you. Oh. You're getting closer, Val. Just a little bit more and you'll make it back to base. By the way, I want to say a big thanks to all of you Patreon supporters and all of the new people that have signed up over the last month. It makes a big difference. Thank you guys so much for that. And as far as the name forms thing, that actually goes out after the beginning of the first month. So, I can't talk today. I'm sorry. It goes out after the next billing cycle. So, you'll see that hopefully here on the 4th or so of October if you signed up this last month. Ren's got you. So, you're being saved by a 3-letter dupe. It seems very fitting. Ooh, oof. Maybe you just got tired of the transit tube system. It does look pretty rough. There we go. Ren's so sad. Wow, that was a very short morning session right there. Maybe not so sad. Rest in peace, Val. Here, we'll give you a blank canvas over here. Meep will come decorate it for you. My grand's so sad. Aww. Tenrog was secretly happy. Maybe Val was just a noisy sleeper or something like that. Hey, JB51, you know what you need? You need a snazzy suit. We've got an extra one for you. Alright, so focusing back on trying to make some liquid hydrogen here. I've got the pump set up, I've got the cooling loop set up. Now I just need to set up the cooler for this. Now, the hydrogen system does actually run an aqua tuner a lot, so I've made an extra steam cooler just for it. That'll be right up here. Okay, so this arrangement over here is a little bit different than the one that we have on the left. The reason is because the one on the left has a cooling loop that is keeping the steam turbine chilled, when the aqua tuner down here is just cooling the liquid oxygen. Now, I don't have that same cooling loop running behind this steam turbine, so what I have to do is set this thermal aqua tuner up to run double duty, which it can do because we're using supercoolant and all that stuff, so it's plenty capable of doing all of that. So what I'm going to do is actually take this liquid pipe and I'm going to run it up here, and then I'm going to run it behind this steam turbine. So I'll put up a little bit of a radiant pipe right there, so just like that. I don't need a whole lot. I can just kind of just have a small little loop. And then that right there, on its way back from keeping all of this nice and cool, will cool down the steam turbine so that that does not overheat. And then we detect the temperature of how hot that supercoolant is. If it's too hot, then we're going to run it through this loop right here. If it's still cold enough, then it'll just skip on over and we won't cool it down. So it has a slightly different loop than what we have going on down here. The other thing I've done is set the set temperature here and the reset right here, which is on the opposite side of the liquid vent. You don't want that to be close by to the liquid vent because then you kind of get inaccurate readings inside of this chamber. Seems like a lot of people are starving all of a sudden. That's kind of weird, considering I have millions of calories of food. But JB51, Eskimo, I did kind of mess with the consumables a little bit here. Food type not permitted. Let's just say anybody can eat omelets. There you go. Problem solved. Moving on. One of the other things I've completed here was the rest of the research. So that's completely done. I have the biological cargo bays now. So one of the things I'm going to do is fly out to the 40,000 kilometer spot here and bring back some sleet wheat grain. I have not been able to pick up any sleet wheat grain from the printing pod or anything like that. So I have no way to do sleet wheat inside of the base unless I go pick it up from space. Slickster larva, huh? I kind of have this little slickster thing going on here. It's kind of a fun thing. I guess I'll drop a critter drop off in there and see if I can keep stacking in some more slicksters. I will probably set up a pen at some point, but gosh, I'm already down to 13 frames per second, so I don't know how many slicksters I really want to try to throw into my base at this point. Please send frames. I need frames. Anyhow, we'll send up 2 rockets there. I'll outfit them with the biological cargo bays, and then they'll be good to go. Okay, one of the other mods I recently installed here was faster jetpacks. I more or less just kind of got tired of my dupes being so slow the second they got into a jetpack, despite them being able to run really fast. That, and I'm starting to become a little bit impatient here. I'm 1,600 cycles into the game, so yeah, I think it's all right to install that mod. Anyhow, you can modify its value right here with a speed multiplier if you actually follow these instructions. I haven't really messed with it, but that's another mod I'm working with right there. It's a very long list at this point. Yeah, there's yet another option for you. Good mod. I like it. Personally, I would think that a duplicate would match their movement speed with their jetpacks right there, or maybe it's just like a slight penalty. But I would feel like that would be a dynamic number based on their movement speed. I think it's always kind of weird that the second they get into a jetpack, they all have a set speed. But you can see the big difference there. It doesn't really affect it when it goes on a diagonal. You can see how slow they go. Alright, so I guess it's about time for me to start thinking of how I'm going to get my extra hydrogen all the way over here. So right now I'm using it to fill up a canister filler, and then I unload it every once in a while. I'm not even sure where I'm unloading it. Oh, I'm not. It's just going past that and it's venting. Well, anyhow, I think a good spot for it to do its thing would actually be to jump over right here, but only after it's gone into the generator. Although I don't think I really even need it to go to the generator. I should have more than enough power coming from other sources. Does this thing even run? It'd be nice if I don't even need that hydrogen generator anymore. Let's see if I can go without the hydrogen generator. Okay, I don't think I need to insulate this anymore. We're just going to be out here in space. Boom. I can get rid of this gas pipe stuff. Don't need it. And we'll just follow this tile right here. I guess it does potentially get like extra hot over here. Although I think it's still just going to be hot no matter whether it's insulated or not. But I'll try to keep it cool and use insulated pipes. Alright, so I went and grabbed a little bit of lunch here, but now we're back. I now have 3 liquid oxygen tanks right here, all lined up, one running into the next. That's actually working out pretty good. It's not exploding in the pipe. That's a real bonus. However, my pump down here, that is exploding. Oh gosh, 10 frames. Please! Alright, whatever. How's this liquid pipe thing doing? What are you doing? I'm trying to run supercoolant into this loop right there so that that's all plumbed up. Doesn't really take a whole lot. I color-coded it so I didn't make a mistake. So, radiant pipe is for the supercoolant. What? I pumped in the perfect amount of liquid? Dude. Quick, don't mess it up. Perfect. Alright, I've already piped in some oxygen up here, so that's good. This stuff will actually turn into liquid oxygen once this thing really gets running. But since it's liquid and it's on top of the steam turbine, it's still going to work. It's just going to be a very, very cold steam turbine. What else do I have going on here? Power, we need power. That's useful. So let's make sure I get that done. Boom, just like so. Started to build another rocket over here, so I have the hydrogen engine right there. And then I got a spot where I'm going to put my space scanners, and then this thing will just fly off and do what it does. So then I can line up a couple of liquid tanks right up there for all of the hydrogen. Matter of fact, I think I need 3 liquid tanks, don't I? If I really want to go the distance. Let's see, 1,800 with no thing on there. Yes, technically this thing needs to have 3 liquid fuel tanks. I see somebody was fleeing. What are we fleeing from? Oh, potentially this. I gotta do something about these pinch rows. They just keep showing up and beating up all my critters. Look at this. Look at this guy just showing up, beating up on baby pips and stuff. Oh my gosh, these guys gotta go. They gotta go. Which ones did I attack? What are you guys fighting down there? Well, I guess we just attacked everything in that area. We'll carpet bomb it all. There you go. We don't need that. We can just remove him. We can cancel that. Pinch rows. I'm gonna turn you into an omelet. It's because when I go to wrangle them, right? So here's the thing. I can wrangle a poke shell, but I don't have anywhere to put it. Like, this is already full. This is full. Maybe I can just drop them in a volcano. Or maybe not a volcano. Maybe just one of these nice steam baths. There you go. Here we go again. For whatever reason, I lost over 10 tons of ceramic. But I have ceramic. I have some more ceramic. I have more ceramic. Ceramic. But yet, I can't get to it. What is up with that? Mysteries. Oh, that's kind of an interesting problem. I thought I'd be able to actually deconstruct that, build a tile there, and then get that tile out of the way, but nope. Okay. All right, so I have the second pipe hooked up here. We can go ahead and fill this with either salt water or brine is usually what I've been going with. Ooh, but hang on. I need the power thing, don't I? Yeah, there we go. Hopefully I have everything hooked up to what needs to be hooked up. Automation, yes. Liquid pipes, yes. Power, yes. All right, we're good to go. And then we'll put some wallpaper down. It's not airtight, but it does block all of the nasty pipes in the background. I guess there was another mod out there to make the wallpaper, no, the drywall cover up the pipes. Because right now only wallpaper covers up pipes. So many mods. Oops! Let's make it happen! Oh! You built everything but the bridge. Come on now, build the bridge. You can build it. It's just a little bit of iron. Please, dupes. Alright, so I'm just putting in the last bit of water right there. Thanks, Nixon. So this should bring us up to the total amount of water we need in this area right here. So, I don't know, 400 or 500 kilograms or so. So that'll be pretty good. I can keep adding more and more to this. This area here does get quite hot. So now that we're at a good amount of water in there, I can go ahead and flip this to above. That's going to turn on the aqua tuner here, and the steam turbine's already hooked up, so that should be good to go. So long as this gets above 150 degrees Celsius, then we can run it. If it goes below 130, then we turn it off. So we should be ready to cool this down. Now, do I have hydrogen flowing? No, I do not. I just need one more piece of pipe right there. So let's make that a real high priority. Bam. You can see we're converting that brine into steam. I think we have enough liquid in there. That's over 100 kilograms per tile. Now when it comes to hydrogen, we have to run this a little bit colder. So hydrogen turns into a liquid at below negative 252 degrees Celsius. And then it turns into a solid at negative 259 degrees Celsius. So there's just this small window that you have to like hit. So the temperature of the liquid for hydrogen is super precise. So as I'm dropping the temperature down here, I'm going to want to be really careful on just how cold I get everything here. So what I'm going to do here is just go to like negative 230. So we'll push it down really, really cold. However, I'm going to be really careful as I get closer and closer to that number, because I don't want to go too far and end up freezing all of this hydrogen down here. That would not be good. Because if I end up freezing the hydrogen, like in the pipes down here, that could potentially cause them to burst, and then I'd have to do a bunch of repairs, which is not really something I want to do right now. We'll also see the temperature in the steam turbine continue to go down and down, because the way that this loop is running, it's actually coming back past that steam turbine, so that's something to keep an eye on. There's a good chance that this oxygen will turn into a liquid, and then at that point, I might be able to come in here and actually move this tile over here. That should actually work. Ooh, one problem is that if it turns into a solid, if I freeze it, I think my steam turbine might break then. Wonder if I can rebuild this pipe here. Yes, I can. Alright, so we're going to bring in some hydrogen to this area, because if I don't ever push anything to frozen down here, then it shouldn't end up frozen up top, which I think will keep that safe. The one sensor I did not put inside of here is an overheat protection loop for the aqua tuner. Like if this goes above 300 some degrees, it will destroy the aqua tuner. So I'm just keeping an eye on that while I'm first doing this big push. I don't want this thing to get too hot, but we'll see. All right, we are down to negative 136 degrees Celsius. The chamber down here is up to 205 degrees Celsius, so it has gone over the 200 limit right there. So we are maxing out the steam turbine. It's pushing 850 watts. This means that it's actually putting out a little bit more heat into this top area, but as we can see, the temperatures are still going down and down. This thing does remove a lot of heat. I think we should be all right. I guess another thing to keep in mind here is that I am cooling all of this metal tile as well. So it's not that I'm just cooling the little amount of coolant that's running through this line. It's all of this stuff here. Ooh, looks like our other rocket is ready to launch. See ya. So those two rockets right now are off to this icy planet, the interstellar ice, to bring back some sleet wheat grain. One of the other things I'm going to do here is hook up this conveyor line to the top part of this other conveyor line so that I can reuse these same steam turbines here, so I can run both silos into this array. I'm not going to build up more of them over here, maybe, but I think I might put something different there. I'm not sure what. Maybe that's a good spot for these scanners. All right, maybe that's where those go. I just don't think I need that. Matter of fact, we can see here that the oxygen in this area already has gotten so cold that it's turned into liquid. So what are our temperatures? What are we at now? The steam is now at 153 degrees Celsius. Wow, that's actually quite a bit cooler. Oh, that's because we must be down to temperature. Yes, we're down to temperature, negative 230 now. So the thing I want to look at here is a couple of things. One, we got the coolant in the pipe. That number is always going to be a little bit different. What I really want to look at here is the temperature in the tiles. So currently we are negative 234 degrees there and negative 234 right there. So it's nice and stable. 234 to 237. So it's got a little bit of range, but not too much. But it is a few degrees lower than what I'm set at. So if I bring this down to negative 240, we'll see what kind of numbers I'm working with right here. Because I want to keep my eye on this hydrogen right there. So that's now down to negative 240. I think it goes about 2 degrees lower than what I set that sensor to. Ooh, maybe a little bit more. All right, so it overshoots by a little bit. So I have to be careful here. So I'm going to step it down to negative 245. This should get us really close to the liquid state. Now you do actually have to go a few degrees beyond the actual numbers that they tell you. I think it's 5 degrees beyond this. So the numbers are actually a little bit lower than the numbers are actually higher when it goes to change from one to the other. So we do have a larger window than it appears right here, but you still want to be careful. So I think I'll have to go negative 257 or 258 before I actually see this turn into a liquid. So I'm going to step it down to negative 247. That's just 2 degrees more. We might potentially start to see our first signs of liquid. Okay, dropping it 2 more degrees now. So we're just below the boundary level for its gas temperature. Ooh, I think we saw the first signs of liquid there. It would help if I plugged it in. Negative 252. Okay, so we're close. I'm going to step down 1 degree, negative 250 now. At first, it's going to overshoot. We should see some liquid form. I kind of want to find that balance point for the right when it just works, and then not go below that, at least too aggressively. You don't want to freeze everything up. Negative 251. Okay, there's a little bit of liquid. There's some more liquid. If my dupes get around to actually building that would be nice. Thank you, please. Negative 252. If I find any sections in the pipe that are above that, then we're going to run it. I'm not seeing any of that. Right now it's negative 2... Oh, there's one. There's a little bit. Hey, there we go. That was our very first bit of liquid hydrogen. I set this to negative 253. So it's probably overshooting right now. So I might actually have to drop the temperature a little bit lower here. Temperatures are going to be extra low just when it first hits the number, and then it's going to kind of balance out as everything catches, evens up. But you can see that we are moving this hydrogen over here. Now, even though this hydrogen is heating up, since it is only 1 kilogram, it's not exploding. So that's a big plus. As you can imagine, it's now I wonder if it'll explode once it gets back over here. But you know what? This system doesn't do that, which is weird. Okay, so we're just getting down to the temperature here where we're starting to condense that hydrogen as it's flowing in. You can see it consuming just a little bit of liquid there. Boom, just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. So what I'm going to do is step it down just 1 more degree, -256. Yeah, see, now it's running even more, so that's good. It's working just like I wanted it to. The real question is, how far can I push it? Ooh, we're getting liquid hydrogen up here. That's what I was expecting. Let's see. Let's try -257. Look at this. This steam turbine is condensing all of the hydrogen that's up there. So this is about to pull a vacuum. How about that? All right, so now I can deconstruct all of this stuff and then reconstruct it. And then I think of Nicola. Hey, dude, why don't you move right back up there? We'll make that a nice high priority. Not that we really need to close that in, but, well, I guess we should. We should. All right, so there we have it. This little liquid hydrogen system here is actually running pretty good. I ended up setting this number all the way down to -260, and that's about as close as I want to go to freezing. So, yeah, that's pretty cold. It is running fairly quickly for a small, reasonable system, that is. We're not going to run this at 1 kilogram a second. However, restricting the amount of volume that I have down here to just this little bit keeps it from becoming heat saturated with like lots and lots of hydrogen that just never ever gets pumped out of the system. You can run into a situation where the thing just slows down. This here stays relatively steady. And as you can see, it's chewing through the amount of hydrogen that we have there. Not at 1 kilogram a second like we can do with the oxygen down here. Hydrogen just doesn't run that quickly. But for a small system like this, this is actually running really good. And it's nice and stable. That's what I really like about it. So, that's pretty neat. Now, of course, we're going to have to build up a ridiculous amount of fuel in order to launch way out there to the end of the star map. So it's going to take a little while. But then again, it takes a long while to fly that far out anyhow. So, ooh, what do we have out there? A red dwarf? Aluminum, methane, fossil. That's lame. This one's pretty cool, though. Tungsten, wolframite. What about this place? Bah, stuff. Ooh, here we go. So the first rocket is back from the ice planet right there. Come on. I hope you bring back a lot of seeds and not like one. If you bring back one seed, did you just dump it on the floor? No. What do you have? Oh, what do you got there? What do you got there? 3 Weezeworts and 4 sleet wheat grains. Woo! Don't pack it too tight in there. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, I'm glad I took 2 cargo bays. What is up with this statue? Now it's behind the ladders? Man, make up your mind, dude. Are you in front of the ladders or are you behind the ladders? All right, so I think that was a good example here. This little gas condenser here not only works well for oxygen, it also works well for hydrogen. So, sweet. I like it. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this little episode here of Oxygen Not Included. If this looks like the channel for you, maybe consider hitting that subscribe button. Stay awesome, guys. Peace. Brothgar out.